The galaxy remembered the broadcast for centuries, because the memory of it burned into every mind that watched it. On a cold rotation of the central cycle, the Galactic Empire activated its broadcast array and projected a signal across every world under its command. Billions of alien citizens looked up at their public screens as the signal began. What they saw was a planet they had only heard about in rumors and political warnings. It was Earth. It was blue and bright. It was full of life. It was the home of a species that the Empire believed would one day rise strong enough to challenge its hold on the stars. Because of that fear, the Empire decided to act before humanity ever had the chance. The broadcast shifted from the image of Earth to a fleet of black triangular vessels. They moved in a formation tight enough to look like one organism. Their weapons charged. Their engines roared. And then they fired. The skies of Earth turned white. Entire continents vanished behind waves of energy. The oceans boiled. No voices were heard. No screams reached the stars. But the galaxy understood what was happening. 10 billion humans were wiped out in the span of minutes. The broadcast did not cut away. It did not censor anything. The Empire wanted the galaxy to see what happened to anyone who might one day stand against it. Not many worlds trembled. Some cheered. Others prayed. A few whispered that the Empire had made a mistake. Those whispers remained small because no one believed a single human could have survived the destruction. The Empire thought the same. Their commanders shut down the broadcast and celebrated their victory. They called the campaign a necessary cleansing. They believed their rule was now secure for ages to come. They were wrong. Out beyond the edge of the galaxy, a silent fleet rested in the dark. It was built in secret over many years by people preparing for a day no one else saw coming. It was created by a small number of humans who had left Earth long before the Empire knew humanity existed. They were the advanced branch of a species that explored dangerous regions alone. They had been watching the Empire for decades. They had been tracking every choice the Empire made. And when the broadcast reached them, they saw the death of 10 billion. They did not scream. They did not panic. They did not argue. They acted. The commander of the hidden fleet was a man named Ray. He was calm. He was quiet. He carried every human memory with a steady heart. He stood before the central screen of the command deck and watched the last image of Earth fading into static. His crew said nothing. They waited for his words. He spoke a single sentence. Earth launched Operation Alien Extinct. The fleet moved from the darkness like a storm of steel. Thousands of long-range engines burned blue as the ships accelerated toward the nearest Empire outpost. These ships were built from designs that no alien engineer had ever seen. The hulls were layered. The weapons were beyond standard energy logic. They carried cores that could bend light and matter. They were not created for intimidation. They were created to end wars before the wars began. The first target of the fleet was a fortress world that guarded the outer ring of the Empire. The planet was home to millions of soldiers trained from birth. They were disciplined and strong. They believed no force could surprise them. Ray watched the tactical map and gave the order for silent entry. The fleet slipped through the outer sensor net without detection. The ships spread across the orbit and then opened fire. Their shots were precise. Their timing flawless. Their intention absolute. The orbital guns of the fortress world tried to respond, but their systems failed because human code had already infected the network. Their defense shield collapsed. Their power grid shut down. Their command center went dark. And then the human fleet fired a single synchronized wave that burned across the surface of the planet and removed every military installation in one sweep. The destruction was total. The attack took less than 3 minutes. The galaxy did not see it happen because Ray had no reason to broadcast anything. He only cared about ending the Empire's ability to harm what remained of humanity. The fleet continued to move. They struck every outpost, depot, relay station, and weapon platform along the outer ring. Each target fell without giving a warning to the next. The Empire did not notice the pattern until the sixth world went offline. Their central command tried to understand what was happening, but they had no memory of a surviving human force. They suspected a rebellion. They suspected another species. They suspected sabotage. They did not even consider humans until one of their patrol ships caught a glimpse of a human vessel leaving a destroyed moonbase. The patrol ship attempted to report the sighting, but a pulse of human code ripped through its system. The message died. The crew died. The ship exploded. The Empire finally realized who was attacking them. Panic spread through its command structure. They had believed humans were gone. They had believed their broadcast had ended every chance for retaliation. They did not know that humans were far more adaptive than any Empire analyst recorded. They did not know humans built their strength on loss. They did not know that humans created unity from grief and clarity from pain. They did not know that Operation Alien Extinct was not a simple counterattack. It was a declaration that the Empire no longer had a place in the galaxy. The human fleet entered the inner ring. This region held richer worlds, larger shipyards, and stronger defenses. Ray understood that a direct assault here meant heavy resistance. He studied each map. He evaluated every possible scenario. He organized his ships into wings. He launched drones ahead of the fleet to confuse enemy sensors. The drones carried hollow signal profiles that made the Empire believe the human fleet was scattered and weak. When the Empire concentrated its forces to attack the false signals, the real fleet moved in behind them. The first major clash happened near a gas giant where an Empire armada of 8,000 ships formed a blockade. Their formation stretched across the orbit like a chain of bright metal. Ray ordered a silent glide until the fleet reached the shadow of the planet. Then he initiated the strike. Human ships dropped from the shadow and moved in a sweeping arc. Their weapons fired in patterns that cut through Empire vessels like needles through cloth. Empire ships tried to retaliate, but the human shields absorbed their shots. Human drones weaved between enemy hulls and detonated their pulse cores. The battlefield became a storm of light and metal. The Empire admiral commanded his ships to regroup, but the human fleet left no room for recovery. They pressed forward. They surrounded enemy clusters. They deleted their engines. They erased their command signals. The Empire armada fell apart. The gas giant battle ended in less than half an hour. Ray gave a single nod to his crew. The fleet advanced again. News of the battle spread across the Empire, even though Ray sent no broadcast. Each defeated station sent desperate messages before losing contact. Empire citizens began to whisper. Some feared the humans. Others admired them. A few believed the Empire deserved its fate. The whispers grew until they reached the Imperial Council. The council argued among themselves. Some demanded negotiation. Some demanded immediate retaliation. Some demanded retreat. None of their choices mattered because the human fleet was already approaching the capital system. The capital system was the heart of the Empire. It held massive defenses. It held elite soldiers. It held the Emperor who had ordered the destruction of Earth. Ray moved into the system with a calm that surprised even his own crew. The fleet took formation at the edge of the star. The Empire activated every shield, cannon, and interceptor it had. Thousands of platforms glowed as they locked on to the human fleet. Ray opened the command channel to his ships and spoke 3 words. End this now. The fleet pushed forward. The Empire opened fire. The space between the two forces burned with energy. Human shields flared. Empire cannons overheated. Drones streaked forward like sparks. Human vessels moved in a flowing pattern that broke through every defensive layer. Empire ships fell one after another. Their commanders fought with desperation, but the outcome was already chosen the moment they destroyed Earth. When the human fleet reached the central citadel, Ray stood at the command deck and stared at the massive fortress ahead. He remembered the broadcast. He remembered the faces of humans lost. He remembered the silence. He ordered one final strike. A wave of controlled energy pierced the citadel. The fortress cracked. A core detonated. The capital of the Empire collapsed into darkness. The rest of the Empire surrendered within days. No resistance remained. No fleet dared stand against humans. Ray sent one message to the galaxy. Humanity lives. Humanity rises. Humanity ends those who try to erase it. Operation Alien Extinct was complete. The galaxy changed forever. And the memory of Earth burned brighter in every surviving heart, because humans proved that even when 10 billion lives are taken, humanity does not fade. It returns stronger than anyone expects.